It's time for more Creative Clubhouse, kids. We're talking about electricity, and it's a shocking experience, to say the least. We have with us this set from Savannah Science Museum, Mr. Jeff Brainell, Mr. Science himself. Another round of applause.
Oh,
welcome,
thank you so
Mr.
much.
Science.
It's so good to be here today. And we are talking about electricity, Miss Rebecca. Now, Creative Clubhouse kids, tell me, what does electricity sound like the most? Does it sound like electrons, protons, or neutrons? Yes, ma'am. What do you think?
Electrons.
That's right. Electrons. Electricity, all it is the flow of electrons. And we can talk about static electricity, or we can talk about current. Static electricity is when you have electrons that don't move around very much. Have you ever gone to the dryer and pulled out like two sweaters or something, and they kind of stuck together? They call that static cling, and then you pull them out and you hear that noise? Well, that's static electricity at work. Or maybe sometimes you'll have a piece of plastic that won't come off your hand, cellophane plastic, and it goes, oh, why would it come off my hand? Well, that's static electricity. But when you have a movement of electrons or a flow, that is static electricity. That is current. I'm so sorry. I get all messed up with this stuff, huh?
Current electricity, good.
That's right. We have current, and that's a flow of electrons. Over here, let's see an actual flow of electrons, the movement of electrons. I'm going to turn this machine on. What's going to happen is we're going to create an electrostatic field around here, and then when we pull this other ball close enough, we start to see electrons move. See them?
Yeah.
They're jumping between the two balls. That's a flow of electricity or movement of electrons.
Is that electricity that we're hearing, Mr. Science?
Well, actually, what you're hearing is the physical sound of the electron hitting the metal.
Oh, I see.
Just like if I was to slap the metal, you'd hear a sound. When the electron hits it, it's going to make a sound too. Okay? Now, I think what's going to be real fun is to have one of the Creative Clubhouse kids come up here and see the effect of static electricity on a human hair. Now, David, is that your name? I heard that you are an expert at being shocked. You've been shocked before, is that right? All right, well, you're just the person we want up here then. Why don't you stand up, David?
I'm over here on this side, sweetheart.
There you go. I want you to try and put both hands up there if you can. Now, the rest of you watch very closely to this hair, and hopefully something good will happen here. I'm going to turn this up again. And don't worry, you're not going to get blown up or anything, okay? Not like that hot dog we saw earlier. Ooh, that wouldn't be too good, would it? Now, what you hope to see is something around his hair.
Oh, yeah, look at his hair.
See the movement? The closer my hand gets to it, his hair moves up. And if you listen very closely, you can hear a crackle. Oh! See what happened? She went and made a connection or a place for the electricity to flow through, just like you wouldn't want to touch that wire that the gentleman was showing you before. You don't want to touch it because you can get shocked. See? And his hair's starting to stand up.
I'm not going to touch his hair again. Look at it, it's starting to stand up all over his head.
There you go, just like you saw a ghost or something, huh? That was very brave of him, huh?
Is he brave or what?
Now, electricity flows through things called circuits. And what we're going to do is show you an open circuit, and we're going to show you a closed circuit, okay? And this will be a lot of fun. I'm going to put this right in the middle here, like this. I'm going to take this little motor here, and this is going to create electricity. And I've got 3 volunteers here who are going to help us out. They're going to hold hands, and we're going to create a circuit. Right now we have a closed circuit. If I was to apply some electricity, the electrons would flow from the motor, run through the bodies, and come back again to the source of the power. It's a nice closed circuit. But if I break the circuit, and all I'd have to do is have these two break their hands like this and hold their hands up in the air, and I apply some force here.
Woo! Oh, wow. I got
You guys shot it. You know, that was an open circuit. Do it one more time, and I'm going to show them how an open circuit does not cause power. Oh, your legs were touching. See?
Oh,
Put your hands up here real quick. Now watch. You're not going to feel a thing, because open circuits don't work. If electricity does not have a path to follow, it will not flow. Just like if you jump from a car and you don't touch the ground, you're all right, because you haven't created a path for the electricity to flow. Well, that's what was there, an open circuit. Now, everybody hold hands again. This time you're going to feel the power, and when you do, I want to hear you say, oh, yeah! Can you do that? Yeah. Let's practice. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah!
All right, here we go. The closed circuit. Well, Mr. Rebecca, that was the closed circuit, and I'm all done. That's all I have to do.
Oh, but we want to tell the boys and girls at home, that was an experiment here, but that's because you're Mr. Science.
That's right. You don't want to do this at home, kids. It can be very, very dangerous, okay? If you want to learn more about electricity, you go to your local library or your school library, and you read books on fun, safe experiments. You bring these books home and then have your mom and dad help you out because you can be scientists right in your own home.
But this is a very, very low voltage shock. It didn't even hurt y'all, did it?
Yeah.
That was just for fun. Well, let's give Mr. Science a great big hand. I'll tell you what, we learned electricity has to have what before it will actually flow? What does it have to have, Chris?
A path.
It has to have a path, and that means it has to be connected. Great show, Mr. Science.
Oh,
Thanks a lot.
thank you so much. I'm always glad to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure. Boys and girls, we're going to be right back. We've got our good old buddy, C.C. Turtle, coming right up. He's going to tell us all about safety.